All right. So tonight, we're going to start with our 5th grade band. Students over here. And the first number on our program tonight is titled Memories, but it's not a real song. It's just a collection of some things. We're going to remind you about what it was like back in September, or before that, if they got their instrument before September. Taking it out, they couldn't resist to keep their hands off of it, and probably made some sounds. Well, they got to me, and we learned how to take it out properly so we didn't break it. We learned how to put it together, learned how to put our hands on it, which is not such an easy thing. And then we learned how to blow into it, and this is what I heard. The second lesson was the cutoff. Well, luckily they're not all at one time, and I have them in smaller groups, and I can handle it. But this wasn't going to work for very long, so we had to learn some sounds that we could use. So we learned do, re, mi, fa, and sol. Here we go. I can work with that. And we can actually do a couple of tunes with those notes. So the first one that we learned was one of their favorites from back when they learned the recorder, Hot Cross Buns. And then we also have Mary Had a Little Lamb. And it was delicious. Learned a little classical music, like our melody from Mozart, also known as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, line 31. To learn the songs that you can easily recognize by ear, but it's another to actually read the notes. And some of the lines that we learned, they're not actual melodies, but just a number, an exercise. Something like, you want that one? And if you notice, all of those lines are what we call unison. Everybody does the same thing at the same time, plays the same pitches, and so everybody kind of knows what's expected. But what happens with real music, we know that it doesn't work with real music. We know that we have different things going on all at the same time. So now we add one level of sophistication, and that is, can you play your part while somebody else is playing something totally different? And that's what tonight is about. We have 3 numbers that we prepared for you. All of these songs have independence in their parts, and hopefully they don't lose the wonderful other things that they learned along the way. So our first song tonight is Gallant March. is, yes, you will sound better when you're a sixth grader. It happens. One thing about music education here, we start them in fifth grade, and it's nice to start them, but really twice a week is very difficult for them to master everything we're asking them to master. So some kids catch on very quickly, other kids struggle and then catch on, some kids take a little bit longer, and some kids really just need everyday reinforcement. And over there on that side of the room, they were the band that was over here last year. How many of you are sixth grade parents and can tell them that's the truth? Yep, see the hands, yep. So with everyday instruction, we get to help them break some of the habits that over the other days that they weren't with us, that they would develop. Fix many of the things that maybe they didn't catch the first time around. So I would encourage you, as you talk with your children about what they're going to do next year, if they're in fifth grade band, I would really highly encourage you to keep them going. Later on tonight, we're going to be entertained by the high school jazz band. And you're really going to see what happens if they keep at it. I always tell my kids, whether it's elementary, middle school, you always look for what's going to come down the road for you, where the payoff's going to be. High school is so exciting and so many opportunities. And the progression continues. So they start out here, they go in 1 year, they sound like that, and then pretty soon they're going to blow you away. So, that being said, I'm going to introduce one of our other directors here. We have an assistant in the district, Ms. Natalie Pagel, and she's going to come forward. She works both at all three, actually. She works at the high school, the middle school, and she works at Burton Elementary with me. We split the class over there, and she's going to conduct for us Power Rock.
Thank you very much. We heard that was Backbone, a great Thad Jones tune. We heard from that Brian Schildkraut on the alto saxophone. Timur Betzer, alto sax. Langston Howley, tenor saxophone. And Nick Ryan on drums. Before we finish out the evening, I just want to echo Mr. Voigt and Mr. Oliver's sentiments about what a great place Berkley is to be. The administrative support that we get is phenomenal. Middle school band every day really does make a difference. Sixth grade parents, can you agree with that statement? Do you hear it? Okay. And that is something that you don't see across the state of Michigan much anymore, is middle school band every day, which is an honor for me to do. My name is Mr. Posner. This is my 4th year with the district. I'm the band director at North International with the 6th grade students. Yeah, go Hawks. And also at the high school with the Jazz Ensemble. I don't want to take too much more of your time. We're going to play one more tune for you real quick, but before I do, I just want to emphasize to the 5th grade parents in the room, those that are thinking about continuing on next year, I'd highly encourage it. Like Mr. Voigt said, there's so many opportunities for your sons and daughters down the road. A couple weeks from today, this band will be out of the 40-degree Michigan weather and in sunny New Orleans with the rest of the high school band playing down there. And that's something that the whole high school band is going on, not just the jazz band, and it's something that's only open to your students if they continue on. I will be here at the end of the concert. If you have any questions for me about our band program at the high school, or really anything about music in general, I'm going to stand right here if you want to just come say hi or whatever. So on behalf of Ms. Pagel and Mr. Voigt, thank you so much for coming.